And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that spicy meat challenge. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed F91 and Xiaose eating that lovely spicy meat. Phrasing. As we are getting ready for our next series. Oh my god, diving right into Dragon KaiZi Gaming versus the Platinum Heroes. And here we go. In the bottom right hand corner, we have ShaDoWn for the Platinum Heroes. And in the top left, we have his opponent. We have for Dragon KaiZi Gaming, it is Oliveira. As you saw in the lineups, you have quite an array of players here. We have Oliveira, Hero, and Dark for Dragon KaiZi Gaming. And for the Platinum Heroes, we have ShaDoWn, we have Goblin, as well as, I believe DNS? No, ShaDoWn, Goblin, and Firefly. Oh, I can't believe my eyes. I'm seeing fireflies. Let's go. So as always, the Platinum Heroes, they do rock a pure Protoss team. They purely Protoss team, whether it's ShaDoWn, Firefly, Goblin. They even have DNS as well, who they rely on from time to time, coming in as well. What I will say is that this season, Goblin has been more active. If you remember, last season, Goblin wasn't really as prevalent of a force for his team for the Platinum Heroes, but we've seen him pop up a little bit more frequently recently. Do love to see it. I do think that the Goblin did fall off a little bit. I think he was maybe taking a break from playing. I think he was maybe just taking a bit of a step back from StarCraft. And that really did allow some of his other teammates to shine. DNS especially. DNS was the ace player of the Platinum Heroes last season. This season it feels like Firefly has kind of taken the wheel and taken the mantle of that. But we'll see if his other teammates can of course keep up in this PvT. Oliveira, of course, on fire recently. He is the reigning world champion. And likewise, kind of similar to Goblin in a way, where after Katowice, for a couple of months, Oliveira did kind of take a step back. He was suddenly less active in KSL. He was less active in the online tournament scene. There was even a rumor going around the Chinese forums that maybe Oliveira was soon going to retire as well, just because he did step away. But he is back, you know, with the advent of DreamHack Atlanta. He is back with a vengeance, and he's looking damn strong. He's looking damn good these past couple of weeks. We've been taking down a lot of big names. But can he take down someone like ShaDoWn? It is going to be a Twilight Council opener out of our Protoss player. Twilight Council opener here from ShaDoWn. So far not scattered. So far the Reaper does not get into the main. Behind this, we did have a pretty interesting opener as well. I believe it was a double gas opener to go into a faster factory to get into a 1-1-1. There it is. Starport is now on the way. I think it was a rack expand. Rack expand into that factory. There we go. So for now, there's nothing too exciting happening here in the early game. They're just kind of testing each other. I believe Oliveira still hasn't scouted the tech. He's still in the dark, and ShaDoWn is walling up here at his natural. But the scout should soon be upon us because Oliveira is setting up for a mine drop. Again, the mine drop is less designed to deal damage, more designed to scout the opponent and to get a read on what's going on. It is blink, but that is an additional gateway. I believe that's going to be 3 gateways in total here for ShaDoWn, so much more aggressive. In the previous PvT that we just wrapped up in Sign versus Keen, Sign was opening up 2 gate into a 3rd base every single game. This time a much more aggressive build out of ShaDoWn. This is designed to gain map control, to contain Oliveira, and to expand behind it. This isn't an all-in, just aggressive and eventually leading into a 3rd base. Back at home, Oliveira is getting into his 3-1-1 setup. Very light on the harassment here. Only a single Widow Mine. Only a single Widow Mine getting across the map. ShaDoWn looking to get in position. I believe it's 3 gateways. I don't think there's a 4th, but I could be wrong when it comes to ShaDoWn's build. If it was 4 gates, then he can be hyper aggressive instead. Oh my god, he's going for it. He's going for a Templar Archives. And yeah, it is 3 gates. So here we go. We are moving up, but before a 3rd base, we throw down the Templar Archives for Storm. ShaDoWn, he has been very fond of Storm recently. That is something that we have noticed. So a very different kind of PvT on the horizon here. Very different playstyle compared to Cyan. Here we go. Stalker Drop moving out across the map. The Mine Drop still hasn't committed, not yet. We're still holding back on it. And there it is, Storm is in production. Stalkers do rock up, but Marines are in position. And so far, yeah, the Stalkers are forced back. A lot of hull damage even done to some of those Stalkers as well. But ShaDoWn doesn't lose anything. Not yet. Able to maintain himself. Here comes some Raven harass. And we also scout the Storm. The Raven sees the Temple Archive, sees it researching as well. Can only mean one thing. Storm is on the way. But they come back too soon. 3 probes go down. The Mine Drop still hasn't committed. As we go for another auto turret, targeting down as many probes as we can. And I think Oliveira does dive into the natural. I'm not sure if it's a Mine Drop or the Reaper. Yeah, but 3, oh my god, 5, 6 workers go down. The mine goes off and the observer doesn't notice. The prism went down as well. Big loss there for ShaDoWn. He's really excited about that prism. He's oh my god. Yeah, but the War Prism did actually, I guess, rally into that base and did fall. Wasn't caught on camera, but I guess the SC cast, sorry, the Chinese casters were saying something else, but and here we go. The push is upon us. Barely was spotted here by these observers. ShaDoWn, he should be getting in position. Storm is done. Oh, first Storm not quite connecting though. The High Templar, they're so exposed. They are so exposed. Where's the support? Again, we lost the Prism earlier. Auto turret into the main base. Oliveira pulling his opponent apart. A much better Storm. But we're getting into the mineral line. Probes are going down and drop into the natural as well. And ShaDoWn is completely pulled apart. We're focusing on the base. GG gets called before the Nexus falls, and Oliveira will take game number 1. Whew. Just all over ShaDoWn. The auto turret harass, the mine drop into the natural, shutting down the prism across the map, and even avoiding those storms. Just pulling ShaDoWn apart. Very impressive. Very impressive there from Oliveira. ShaDoWn trying to get into his own build, into his own game, but alas, couldn't really get the ball rolling there. Could not take control of even the map, which he should have with the 3 gates as well. A lot of that comes down to the prism going down. If the prism hadn't fallen, then Oliveira would have had a much harder time pushing out, but yeah, alas, it did fall in the end, and it is going to be ShaDoWn's map of choice. Is going to be going for Hecate up next. Here we go. ShaDoWn looks frozen. I think he's just a little bit stiff. Yeah, it's okay. He's a little bit stressed out. It's all good. It's okay. I'm sure we'll get some movement soon. Don't worry about it. As we are getting ready for Hecate again. Hecate is a much more macro-oriented map. Is of course a much easier map to get up to 4 bases on and to really get into the mid game in a secure position. I expect that's what ShaDoWn wants to go for here. I'm sure he wants to thrive in that mid game. He wants to make it there. We'll see if he can. In the top right hand corner for the Platinum Heroes, it is ShaDoWn. And in the bottom left, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Terran player for Dragon KaiZi Gaming. It is Oliveira, the reigning world champion. Insanely good point. True. If you're in the chat, oh, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Okay. Posture check. Posture check in the chat. No slouching. No we want to be like ShaDoWn, Pop. We want to be like ShaDoWn. Posture check. Take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. And yet, unless you're like Slobo, who like watches while he's in his bed. True. As we're getting into our openers. So far, ShaDoWn just going to be going for a gate expand into that cyber core. We'll see how many gases he does go for. As we are pointing out back at home, Oliveira is going for a Rax expand as well, which is, I believe, what he went for in the previous game. I was a little bit distracted in the early game, but I think he went for an economic opener as well. There we Okay, as we are just getting into the swing of things. Again, I'm pretty sure that ShaDoWn, he's gone for a bit of a larger map here just so we can get some breathing room, just so we can get his economy up and running. And as we get into this series, shout out to the spawn, Doyu, Honkai Star, Taido, and Autofool as well. Again, you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of weird because a lot of those sponsors we can't actually gain access to outside of China. Like, a lot of those are very endemic to the local regional scene. But, you know, support them wherever we can, just because without them, we wouldn't have WTL, we wouldn't have Kung Fu Cup or Masters Coliseum. So many events from SC Boy, and thanks to a lot of those sponsors. I guess some people do play Honkai Star. That is more international. I'm shaking my head. Shaking my head. I'm looking at you, smile. Este smile. There's wondering, Honkai Star is one of the main sponsors of this tournament, and they run ads at the beginning and end of the tournament. Is, I believe, a gacha game. I think it's an MMO, kind of like Genshin Impact. A gacha MMO, if you will. I want to say same developers as Genshin Impact, and maybe the same world. I don't know. I don't know the lore of Genshin. I don't want to get it. Aye. For now, we're just getting into our game though, and yeah, it was again an economic opener out of Oliveira into his 1-1-1, very similar to the last game. Meanwhile, we do have a Twilight Council, and that is not for Blink. ShaDoWn. This is wild. This is not unheard of, but a very uncommon opener here in this matchup, going for a Dark Shrine instead. Very risky. As you can imagine, DT openers are very hit and miss in PvT because, hey, if there's no scan, if they happen to mule, then you can do a lot of damage. If they don't mule, if they do have a scan available, then they can shut down your DTs very early on. So we'll see how we can make use of this. I love the positioning of this pylon. Oh no, he gets spotted! No! There happens to be an SCV there, and the pylon is seen. That's so unlucky that there just happens to be a worker there, and again, we're going to be able to shut this down. Fun fact, the positioning of that pylon, you can actually warp in on the other side of the cliff. You can warp in straight into the natural, but it is going to be shut down. Again, the foresight of Oliveira to have a spotter depot in position. The pylon will fall, and we're going to need a backup pylon instead. There it is. Now, thankfully for ShaDoWn, he hasn't... Thankfully for ShaDoWn, he hasn't been scouted. The Dark Shrine... Oh no, he's supply blocked! But he hasn't been spotted. So Oliveira, he doesn't know to bank up scans. He is moving out with his Hellion, is going into the main with his Reaper at the same time. Trying to get a read of what's going on. First Dark Templars on the way. Raven in production. This is the other rough thing about this matchup, is that Ravens are very common in TVP. We even saw it last game with that Raven harass. The Dark Templar does waddle into the mineral line. SCVs are going down, but the Raven arrives just in time. 3 workers. Not ideal. Like, what's worrisome here for ShaDoWn is that, one, the DTs, there's so much onus on them to get damage done because you're delaying Blink. Like, you're delaying Blink, which means you're delaying... You relinquish map control. You don't have a way to shut down drop play, to shut down movements, or even delay the third base of your opponent. You give up so much for Dark Templar, and alas, it wasn't quite worth it in the end. We got a couple of SCVs at least. Did get 3 of them, but for the most part, Oliveira is in a better position. Does get eyes on the Observer. He wants it up! He boosts on 40. He's hunting the Observer down, and he should get it as well. Good pickoff. This means that ShaDoWn is going to be in the dark when it comes to the move out. He's warping in back at home. Oliveira, I believe, hasn't thrown down a 3rd CC yet. Is going to be reliant on drop play. And there we go, 3rd CC now on the way for Oliveira. So he's not going for a 2-base all-in. Just going for drop play for the time being. The ships, they pass in the night. They do miss each other. There is 1 Dark Templar in that War Prism. It looks like we may go for some Zealot Harass and maybe 1 DT in the mix to, like, try to slip in and get some extra damage done. So we'll see if we can pull that off. At the same time, as ShaDoWn's getting his third base up and running, we're getting into Robo production. We have a safety immortal on the way, a Bay for eventually Colossus. This time, no Storm, unfortunately. No Storm this time. As the Dark Templar does waddle into the main base, he's going to get a couple more SCVs. Not bad. 3 workers go down, 4, 5 even. Oh my god. We do manage to scan, and we do zone this away, but the Dark Templar does escape. At the same time, though, Oliveira, he's pushing through the center. He's ignoring that harassment. He's pushing right through the center of the map, I believe unscattered. He has the interference matrix. He has a disable. And he just goes straight for the natural. He depowers the Robo. Oh my god. Getting in position. He goes for some auto turrets instead. No anti-armor missile, but he just has such an amazing concave. He shuts down the mineral line, cleans up so many of these Zelts as well. Takes down an Immortal. And ShaDoWn will eventually clean this up, but he loses the Robo. Oliveira, he snipes it just towards the end there. At the same time, another drop into the third base, and ShaDoWn was completely pulled apart. 26 probes falling, an Immortal, a Robo. He goes for a warping across the map, but we have reinforcements. We will clean this up. Oliveira just all over ShaDoWn here. Again, 2 games in a row. The drop play doesn't end. It doesn't stop. And as a reminder, because there's no blink, there's no way to keep up. GG gets called. Oliveira will take the 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a DT opener into charge as well. We were lacking map control. We were lacking a secure way to keep up with the drop play of his opponent. And yeah, Oliveira just had his way with ShaDoWn there. A very strong performance from him, from our reigning world champion, of course. And now we're getting into our next matchups. Again, to quickly go over them, it is going to be Goblin versus Hero in a PvP, as well as Firefly versus Dark in a PvZ. Oh, let's go. KaiZi not holding back. KaiZi Gaming, of course, they do have a bit of a larger roster. Like every now and then they do field Jeshi, but not this time. No Jeshi this time, as they are just fielding their heaviest roster that they can. Just an ordinary man. It's a picture, Pascal. It looks like a picture. It does look like one. Don't be deceived though. As we are getting ready for that PvP, Hero, of course, last night taking down Max Packs in a PvP, so it is going to be an uphill battle, but in general, Protoss versus Protoss can be very dynamic, can be a very difficult thing to actually have a strong performance in or be consistent in. That's what I was going for. And Goblin, he can always whip out the Roddy strats as well. I know he has kind of left the nest and he's no longer, you know, one with Team Roddy. But at the same time, you know, the influences are there. You know, Roddy did still raise him in the end, and we could see some Skytoss shenanigans. I want to believe that Goblin has something special and prepared for Hero. I mentioned before, it's great to see more of Goblin. He was very inactive last season. He was very rarely. It felt like he was very rarely fielded in WTL Summer, so we're getting a little bit more of Goblin here in WTL Winter. Do appreciate it. A rough team to go up against. KaiZi is stacked. Yeah, KaiZi Gaming, they're one of the stronger teams in the league. Despite that though, KaiZi Gaming, they've been struggling a little bit. When it comes to the top teams, you've got Onside, you've got Team Basilisk. I believe even Shopify and Team Liquid are rated higher. Let me just double check the settings. Sorry, not Team Liquid, but Shopify and Psystorm are technically rated higher in the standings compared to KaiZi. So again, they need these wins. They need to catch up. And in the bottom left hand corner, we have, for the Platinum Heroes, Goblin. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have, for KaiZi Gaming, it is Hero. This time Hero doesn't have a green screen. Usually Hero has a green screen, so we don't really get to get a glimpse of his house, of his apartment. Now we do. We can spy on him. As for now, we're getting into a gate expand. Ooh, and this is what I love. Okay, so if you were here last night, you would have already heard this little rant or this little speech. But Hero recently, over the past maybe week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, Hero, he has been adapting his PvP. His PvP has been changing. Hero and Nightmare both. And as you can see here, they have adopted the max pack style, going for a gate expand on the low ground. I love that. For such a long time, it was only max packs that did this, but slowly it seems like the Koreans are catching on, and the Koreans are accepting this as well. I say that really only Hero and Nightmare for now. I haven't seen Classic do this yet, and I haven't seen Creator do this yet, but it's also maybe because I haven't been casting a lot of Classic recently. So maybe he's adopted this as well, uncertain. But yeah, this has been very trendy amongst some of the Korean players, which is really fascinating to me because, again, for such a long time, it was only max packs that went for gate expands on maps like this, on a map like Hecate, with no ramp leading into the natural. But now Hero is also adopting that, in PvP specifically. Now the onus is on Goblin. Here we go. Can Hero actually walk the walk? You know, he can talk the talk, right? He's going for the gate expand. But it isn't just about having an economic opener. The reason why Max Packs can get away with this is because he can goad his opponent into a one base all in and shut it down. Can Hero do the same? Can Hero shut down the potential one base all in of Goblin? Now maybe I'm getting ahead of myself because Goblin, he does have a probe on the map, but he pulls back. He does pull back. Hero, he went double gas first before that natural. So he is going for a Stargate. Zealot moves out, and Hero, he does come across the proxy pylon, which means he knows he isn't being all in. There is no all in. It's just a fake proxy pylon here from Goblin. Hero's aware, so we're going to shut it down. Meanwhile, Goblin does throw down a Stargate of his own back at home in his own main base. So the goal here is Goblin isn't going all in. That Stargate should be for an Oracle to get ahead, or sorry, to cripple the economy and get ahead that way. And I say get ahead, equalize, keep things even things up. Goblin, of course, is going to have a later expansion, so he has to make up for that by killing workers. Zealot does get shut down. Did kill the pylon though, so worth it for Hero. Stalker count is slowly getting higher. Again, Goblin, he does have a much stronger production compared to his opponents. Oracle moves out, and Goblin is already applying pressure here at the natural base. He's up in Stalkers, but the shield battery is done. Oracles are on the way for both players. Heroes is already done. Goblin is still in production. Oh my god, and Hero, he goes straight for the army instead. I love this because this got scouted. And both Stalkers go down. Big pick off here for Hero. So Hero opened up Stargate. The Stargate got scouted. The Oracle got scouted as well. And Goblin was waiting in the mineral line. He was waiting for the Oracle that never arrived. Because Hero, he shuts down the Stalkers in the center of the map. Shield batteries are on the way. Hero, he hasn't seen the Stargate of his opponent, but he can deduce. Can deduce what's going on. And now he knows. Adept shades into the mineral line, sees the Stargate as well. Oracle is making its way towards the main base of Hero. And is Hero ready for it? And Oracle is in the main, and the shield battery is done just in time. The Oracle gets no damage done. Goblin is in a rough place as he's getting into Phoenixes. Phoenix versus Phoenix. At least a little bit here to start with. We'll see if we commit. Hero's also working on some Immortals. Phoenix almost gets caught out. As you can see, Hero extend his lead here in the worker counts. Immortal has arrived, and Goblin has to back off. Oh! We get one, we get two. Oh, we're going to be throwing away the Oracle. We get three, and barely get the Revelation towards the end. Very clutch Revelation there from Hero. He's aware of the Phoenixes, so he knew that his Oracle had like a finite time left here on the map on Hecate. But Goblin is pushing. We got Stalkers, we have 3 Phoenixes as well. With the Phoenixes, we can CC and crowd control the Immortals. We can pick them up. And a really awkward choke point. Goblin gonna be threatening the mineral line. Doesn't get in. Oh! Takes the volley to the face. Not ideal here as Hero gets a scat across the map. He sees saturation at the natural, just making sure that he's not being all in. Oh, the Stalkers, they get caught out though. 4 probes fall. And Hero's pushing. Oh my god. He's ignoring the Phoenixes. He's pushing across the map. He should... Yeah, he does recognize no shield battery. No pylon, no shield battery at the natural. Goblin cutting a lot of corners here because of the map control that he has. Being a little bit greedy. There we go. Shield battery is now on the way. Halfway done. Hero, can he break through before they can really get going? There we go. He dives on the army. That wasn't... Sorry, that was a pylon. Not a shield battery. We do CC the Immortal. Boys are being pulled. And it looks like Goblin, he should be able to hold on. Barely does lift up that Immortal. We're going for another warp in, but we dive on top of the prism. We deny the warp in. We shut it down, and Goblin will hold. Does lose a lot of workers. Does lose 6 probes, but he killed an Immortal. Killed a lot of sentries. Killed some sentries. Killed the Stalkers as well. Goblin, he's now ahead. And that push just was not it from Hero. I'm sure he was hoping that maybe it would take a little bit longer for the Phoenixes to come back home. And now Hero, he loses so much momentum. Probes are going down. He's just now starting Blink. Goblin is having his way with him. Stasis trap into the main. And this is the game that Roddy would be proud of, you know? The Phoenixes. And that's all he needs to do. Just make the Phoenix Poppy. Make Poppy proud. As Goblin now has a worker lead, he's able to maintain that, has map control with all these Phoenixes. He's not stopping Phoenix production either, and yeah, Hero, he's just in a lot of trouble. Trying to get into his own Stalker account. It's also on Hero for not getting into Phoenixes himself, which would have been an option for him. I guess something that we did learn last night as well is that Hero, he doesn't have the best Phoenix versus Phoenix. It's the only games that he lost against MaxPax were when it led into that scenario, when it was Phoenixes versus Phoenixes in PvP. And Hero did struggle there.
Way higher, Erton!
Here we go, he's pushing through the center. A second wave, but this one is weaker than the first. Hero is down in army supply. God, and there are just so many Phoenixes. He's getting a third base behind this. So Hero, he's just looking to posture and deny a third. I don't think he intends on pushing into the natural. If he does try to, I think it would be a mistake. He's just going to be poking in. Let's take down a probe. Again, just trying to contain his opponents. He does have high-ground vision. We're going into the main. Oh my god! Into the army of Goblin. We're going to get some Phoenixes, decent force fields as well. But we're losing so much. This was not it, Papi. This was not it. The Immortals are going ham. And so many Stalkers are falling. I appreciated denying the third base, but this was an overextension. He kills 3 Phoenixes for 10 Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. Now, Hero, he does have a third, at least. Again, I think containing his opponent would have been good enough, but yeah, losing such a large army there was, or losing so much of his army was not worth it in the end for Hero. He's still trying to recover. Charge is on the way. Shield battery is here as well for overcharge. With Goblin, it's going to be his turn to move out. It is his time to shine. He's pushing into a concave, he's pushing into a lot of shield batteries, but he may have enough regardless. He has 3 Immortals with his army. Shield batteries are exposed. They're going to be focused down. Overcharge is going to be denied. And Hero, he does blink back here. He's dealing with some of these Phoenixes at least. Dives on top of the Immortals. He's pulling some boys. 15 workers go down, and it's not going to be enough. Hero, he barely can't hold on. As Goblin, he breaks on through, shuts down the third base, cleans up the army. And Goblin is looking to fight back here for his team. They had a rough start, but Goblin here putting a point on the board, looking to take down Hero here in game number 1. We have a couple of reinforcements coming in, but there's still no answer to the Immortal. He's trying to dive on top of it. Up! He wants it! Oh my god. The Immortal is barely not going to go down. Oh my god, it's on 15 HP! So close to falling, but it survives. Yes, second Immortal arrives as well. Hero trying to go for a counter attack with a handful of Stalkers. Gets the Immortal! Good control out of Hero, good target firing, but alas, there's just so much he can do with a handful of Stalkers. He's getting some probes back at home, but Goblin, he has a defensive Immortal. And GG gets called, and a Goblin will take the first game here for the Platinum Heroes. GG. GG, well played. Hero, best Protoss player in Korea, and he does drop a game here against Goblin. And again, a big reason for this is Hero did overextend at times, was maybe overly aggressive when there was no need to be as well. And yeah, he did end up just having some really rough trades, some really rough fights, despite having a better economic opener. Despite remember, he shut down the Oracle, he shut down, or he was able to deal damage across the map as well. Like, it was a decent start for Hero. Wasn't bad at all. But then he pushed out. He pushed out with, I think it was 2 Immortals. 2 Immortals, he pushed out with his Stalkers. He was pretty all in, and he was completely shut down. Just an ill-advised attack from Hero, and things very quickly swung in favor of Goblin. Very quickly, and with that, Goblin does put a point on the board. Let's go. Let us go. Yeah, there were 2 really rough engagements with Hero. You could argue there was maybe a chance for him to come back when he was taking his third and when he was denying the third of Goblin, but that's when he just sent it. That's he just sent it all, Papi. And here we go in the top right hand corner for the Platinum Heroes. We have Goblin. And in the bottom left, we have his opponent, the Dragon KaiZi Gaming Hero. And again, a lot of this does come down to just the dynamic of PvP. I mean, mirror matchups in general. Mirror matchups, if you do fall behind, if you do have a deficit, it is so difficult to come back. And this time, Hero is going for a double gate opener. This time he's calming things down. He's not going for a gate expand. This is the other, like, weird thing about seeing Hero go for gate expands that we saw in the last game, is that it feels wrong. What I mean by that is that specifically Hero as a player is just a very aggressive player. So for him to go for a gate expand, it feels like it's working against his nature and working against his skill set. And we even saw that in the last game where he did push out on 2 bases. It was less than an ideal push, but like he wants to be in the face of his opponent. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to be active. And a gate expand just isn't really like doesn't really lend well to that. Doesn't really allow you to be too active like that without being completely all in. Just because of your delayed blink and like delayed upgrades in general. As it was the Stargate into the Robo. But for now, we do have mirrored builds. 2 gates all around. Two gate openers all around. Hero, he's going to be going for a double Stalker. We'll see if Goblin meets up with him. No, Goblin is going to be going double Adept instead. So a much more aggressive opener here from Goblin. We'll see if he doubles down and goes into 4 and even 6 Adepts. Again, the build order is the same, but the units of choice here do lead into very different playstyles. With Adepts, the goal here for Goblin is to get across the map and get economic damage done. He's doubling down. He's going to go Adept into Oracles, which means he should be making another wave of Adepts. And there we go. We have a 3rd and 4th Adept on the way, and we should be seeing a 5th and 6th Adept as well. So Goblin, he's going to be delaying his expansion in favor of Adepts and Oracle play, and he's just hyper fixated on getting economic damage done. Meanwhile, Hero is going for a Robo Opener. Very interesting. I was going to say very safe play, but a 3rd gateway gets thrown down. This looks like a 1-base all-in. This looks like a 1-base all-in. He's going to have 3 gateways to reinforce. Lovely Shade Denial there from Hero. This Robo should be for a Warp Prism to get across the map, to be in the face of Goblin, to shut him down here and now. And we'll see if Hero expands behind this. There's that Warp Prism on the way, and Goblin is the first to throw down his natural. And Goblin doesn't know. He is not really aware of what Hero is up to, and yeah, we're going to be committing. Here we go. The entire army of heroes moving across the map. Hero maybe a little bit upset about that last game in the face of Goblin. Oh no, the Adepts! No! Goblin, he missed the pylon. Okay, we don't commit. We do have a warp in defensively back at home. First pylon goes down, and Hero's moving out with that Warp Prism. He's busting into the main base as well. That's Nartos' pylon. Okay, we do have a backup pylon on the way. Natural base still taking a lot of hits. Goblin going for his own defensive Robo, but it may just be too late. And Hero is snowballing out of control. The Adepts, they shade into the main base. The wall is not a wall. He just walks up into the main as well. And with this Warp Prism, he can juggle. He does end up saving some of those Stalkers, dropping them onto the low ground. So many probes are being pulled. And Goblin, he may have held onto his natural base, but Hero doesn't care. He's all in. He's going for the kill, going for the army. Oh, does have to be careful. And the Adepts do not quite make it into the main. Goblin, can he hold on? The Adepts, no! They do make it into the main base. The Prism goes down. We recall to the wrong place. No! And as we recall to the natural, probes are falling in the main. Bit of a misstep there from Goblin. Ay. Unfortunate. I mean, even if he had recalled into the main, like, the probes would still go down. But the Immortal does arrive. The Immortal does make it in the end. Goblin, he's holding, and he does hold on to his natural as well. He's getting ahead economically. He's behind in workers, but he's making up for that. We are lacking shield batteries. That's the biggest concern, because Hero is still all in. Hero, he is not transitioning. He has an Immortal. He's going back into his Warp Prism, which did die earlier. He's doubling down on the all-in, and Goblin, he needs to respect that. There we go. He does confirm the lack of natural base. And we need more than one shield battery, I'll be honest. Oh no, he cancels! 0 shield batteries. Adepts, they do check the main base. Hero's pushing in. No shield batteries, no overcharge either. Ay. We're diving right into the natural. Boys are being fooled. So far, good juggling out of Hero, keeping that Immortal alive. Going for the warp in. Yeah, the Immortal of the Goblin does go down. Hero keeps his own alive. We lose the Prism. Does Hero care? Does he have enough? The boys are pulled in. Goblin, he's barely holding on. He takes down the Immortal. But it's just too much. GG gets called. Hero, he breaks through. And Hero takes the 1-1. GG. Hero shaking his head a little bit there. I'm sure he was hoping for a 2-0, you know, hoping to clean it up here and now. As the first of 4, the team with the first of 4 wins does take the series. But nonetheless, a 1-1, not too bad here. GG, well played. Goblin, just not taking that all-in seriously enough. He confirmed. He saw the lack of expansion. No shield batteries. Imagine one shield battery. Imagine an overcharge. That would have been huge there at the natural base, as Hero barely broke through. That wasn't the cleanest all-in. That wasn't the cleanest kill. Goblin, he was keeping up and barely treading water there. Was barely broken towards the end, and GG. Congratulations. Congratulations to Hero. A shout out to Goblin for having a more back and forth and almost even surviving and taking game number 2. Very well done. Very well done, as we are getting into the final best of 2. It's going to be a PvZ between Firefly and Dark. Let's go. Let us go. See in the chat. Impressive game by Big Gobble. Ah, Big Gobble. yeah. He had a really good series here. Even game number 2 as well. Like it wasn't too poorly executed from Goblin. Like a couple of mistakes here and there, like, you know, whether it's the recall or whether it's the lack of shield battery, but things that can very easily be worked on. And, you know, it's just in the moments when things are so chaotic, mistakes can be made, you know, nerves can kind of pop up as well, and it happens. Overall, hopefully Goblin isn't too upset with that result, and yeah, did well for himself. Did well. As we're getting into that final best of 2 here of the night. If Firefly takes the 2-0, then we do get an ace match, but that ace match would be a best of 1, not a best of 2. So here we go. But again, taking a game off of Dark is going to be a difficult thing to do. Not just a game, taking 2 games as well is wild. We'll see if Firefly can pull it off. We'll see how spicy Dark is tonight. We mentioned it last night. Dark has been very fond of proxy hatches, and even here in WTL, I expect to see at least one game where he goes for a proxy hatch. Like, he's very fond of it. He likes it, man. He likes it. We'll see. We'll see if he goes for it. And we'll see what Firefly comes prepared with. Again, Firefly, he's a very preparation-based player. That's why he thrives in WTL. That's why he's taking down so many big names. That's why Firefly is the new ace player of the Platinum Heroes. He pops off week after week after week, getting some very surprising wins and very surprising results. Has definitely become a fan favorite over time. Has become a fan favorite. And yeah, I'm just double checking actually. Just trying to double check here, and yeah, so we saw a couple of weeks ago Firefly, he went 1-1 with Solar, for example. So again, this was even post GSL win, I think. That was hey, you can never count Firefly out. Firefly also took games off of Clem earlier this season in his series against Team Liquid. And what other big names did he take down? Cyril took games off of Cyril, mate. Again, all you have to do is like look at Firefly's season, mate. He's taken down Cyril, Clem, and Solar. Not 2 zeros, but at least a game. And that's the crazy thing about Firefly. Like, he can go up against anyone. He can take a game. He can take a game, and here we go. Game 1 is going to be on Equilibrium in this PvZ. Vámonos, vámonos. Of course, Firefly going to be playing tomorrow in ESL Masters in the Asia Regionals. Has a pretty impressive ELO in his own right. And again, a lot of that is just because he's been taking down so many big names. Not just this season, but last season as well. And here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have, for the Platinum Heroes, Firefly. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent for KaiZi Gaming. It is Dark. Oh, let's go. The harness is ready, and Firefly, where are we going? Going straight for the gold base, but it looks like we're just going there to deny it. If Dark did go for a hatch first at the gold, I don't think he intends to proxy here or take his own nexus here. That would be crazy. I think, yeah, he's just looking to deny an expansion. We have seen Zerg players on this map take the gold as their natural. Dark is not one to do so, though. Takes his natural base at the natural location. So very understandable here from Firefly. Unfortunately, he doesn't delay the expansion of Dark, but I'm sure he's happy to not delay the expansion, but make sure that the gold doesn't get up and running, because that's a terrifying Zerg player. If they get that gold as the natural, it's wild. I cannot believe my eyes. Ah, me either. Oh, he's missing. Where did he go? Firefly is gone. We had cams. We had cams earlier, but he's disappeared. Hopefully he's okay. Do you think he dropped his cam again? There we go. It happened before. I think it was Silky. I think the last week when we casted Silky, his like webcam toppled over and we lost him, Pappy. We lost him. We had to pause the game and he had to set his cam back up. Hey. For now though, standard openers here. Hatch gas pull out of Dark and a gate expand from Firefly. Everything looking as it should. All is looking good. As, again, really my eyes are on Firefly for his tech of choice here. I guess it should also be on Dark. I'll do my best to keep up. Because Dark is a very unique player in his own right. He's the best Zerg, or arguably the best Zerg in Korea, of course. Recent GSL champion has something to say about that. Dark is though still a very terrifying opponent. He's very aggressive. He's a very aggressive player in this matchup. More often than not, he wants to be in the driver's seat. He wants to dictate the pace of the game. Traditionally, Zerg players are more of a reactive race, but Dark is anything but reactive. So we'll see how this does turn out. For now, third base is on the way for Dark, taking the linear third. A much more defensive third base location. Still not going for the gold, by the way, which is also why Firefly is patrolling, because it is very common. I mean, it's uncommon for a Zerg player to take the gold as their natural, but much more common to take it as a third base. So that's why Firefly is still patrolling. Finally leaving in the hell out of there. And Dark, it looks like he may just opt to take the gold as a fourth, or he may not even think he needs to. Oh. Here we go. For now, we are just going to be settling into this. We have the Lings moving out for Dark, just looking for any kind of scouting information, getting a read on, oh my god, the rally. we're going everywhere, Bobby. Dark just scouting the entirety of the southern portion of the map. Firefly at the same time going for a Stargate opener. Oracle dives into the main. Spore is ready. Queen is in position, and the Oracle is zoned away. Meanwhile, Firefly is taking his own gold as his third. Oh my. A bold move here from Firefly. And now the onus is on Dark to shut this gold base down. Lair in production. A pretty early lair timing, actually. 4 minute 10 lair timing from Dark. Before the Roach Warren. Meanwhile, we have a transition Firefly going Stargate opener into a third base, into a delayed Twilight Council. This tells us a lot. So Firefly is going tech heavy. He's going for a very tech heavy army. He's going for +1 and Immortal production, soon to be into Disruptors or Colossus as well. And as he does this, Oracle comes in, gets 3 worker kills, not too bad. Queen's a little bit out of position. Lings are going for a run by though. They're looking to threaten that gold base. And is there anything back at home? There's one Adept. Ooh, one Adept is not good enough. It's going to be going down. We do go for a warping as well. As the Oracles should be turning back around, but they're getting back home a little bit too late. Shield battery does finish. There we go. Third Oracle arrives. But what I was getting at is that with this tech-heavy style from Firefly, he has a delayed Twilight Council, which means delayed blink, delayed charge. It means his gateway army is going to be lacking, and he's going to be lacking map control as well. He's going to have very few army units, and it's going to take him a while to really get going. Now, with this fast lair, we can see why. Darky just raced into that lair, and he's going for a Nidus. And I'm worried for Firefly, because of his build of choice, because of his playstyle here, he's not going to have much of an army. Right now, he's vulnerable. He's very vulnerable until he gets his first couple of Immortals out, and they're still on the way. They are still in production. There we go. Nidus is on the way from Dark. Firefly is going to have 1 Immortal, a handful of Gateway units, 2 Oracles, no Shield Battery, no Overcharge at the natural. Dark, this timing, it's brutal. Here we go. The Nidus has been revealed. Shield batteries are on the way in a panic. Very late shield batteries here for Firefly. He had no idea what was coming. The Oracles were stuck at home. He wasn't scouting across the map. He didn't know what was coming his way until it was too late. Nidus into the main is going to be denied. But we just avoid the natural. We go straight for the third base. The Vials! The Vials, they do connect. There's 2 sentries and 1 adept here as the army for Firefly. And the Lings, they do get on top of the army as well. Third base is going to be going down. Oracles are doing what they can. But I love this Nidus. If the Nexus falls, then there's going to be creep here to deny another base. Queens trying to hold on here. Some of them are going to go down. But Dark, he just reroutes his army towards the gold. He's looking for surround. And now, the Immortals. The Immortals are trapped. The Vials will connect. They take down the Immortals, and Darky snowballing out of control. Again, very quickly identifying what Firefly was doing and just shutting him down. I mean, I say that. He saw the gold base. Dark, he saw the gold and he chose violence. As the Nexus will fall. Dark, he ended up cutting workers here at 50. It was actually, I think it was 48. He's going to be droning. He may not be able to break the third. Sorry, he may not be able to break the natural, but he's broken the third. He's content to drone and transition. Spire is on the way for Mutas. Files are connecting. Cybercore most likely going to go down. The Oracle, the Immortals, they try to break through. At least we keep the Cybercore alive. I can't say the same about the Oracles, as one of them does go down. And as Dark backs off, there's creep everywhere. There's creep at the triangular third, there's creep at the goal base. Firefly, he can still expand at the linear third at least. At least he can expand there. But I believe he hasn't seen the Spire, and Mutas are soon to be on the horizon. Firefly isn't expanding. That's a War Prism on the way, by the way. So it looks like Firefly is going all in. Yep, 2 more gateways. It's a 2-base all in here for Firefly. He knows he cannot catch back up economically. It's all or nothing for the Protoss. All or nothing. Here we go, Firefly pushing everything across the map. Dark back at home, amassing an army. He droned up a little bit, up to 63, 3-way saturation. And Dark, he's just snowballing. Like, he just dealt too much damage early on. He's looking comfortable here. He comes in for the surround. Show us the vials. As the Lings, they do manage to get a wrap around, and yeah, the vials, they will connect. We just collapse on the army. The Prism goes down. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. Oh. Dark recently got a haircut. He's looking well groomed today. I just noticed. But GG, well played again. Dark, as soon as he saw the goal base, immediately Lair was on the way. We cut workers at around 48. Went for a big Ling Queen Ravager all in with the Nidus. Say all in. I would say that. An all in essentially. He was able to do enough damage. He didn't just kill the third base, he also crippled the army. He got some Immortals. I think 2 Immortals went down, a lot of the Sentries, a lot of Stalkers. He did enough damage to transition out of that and to get into his own economy. And he forced the all in out of Firefly. Again, very decisive play out of Dark. And Firefly, unfortunately, on his side of things, he wasn't able to determine whether or not Dark was droning or if he was going all in. Firefly, he had 3 Oracles on the map, but if you remember, he raced back home because of the Ling harass. The Lings were hitting the third base, which forced everything to come back home, which meant the Firefly didn't see the Lair. Oh, sorry, he did see the Lair, but he didn't see the Nidus. Didn't realize what was coming his way, and as a result, he was caught with his pants down, and now we're getting into game number 2. And in the top left, we have, for the Platinum Heroes, Firefly. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have, for Dragon KaiZi Gaming, Dark. Here we go. Again, recently having a haircut. Wow. Looking good. As we are getting into our openers here. And also, with that win, I should also mention that Dragon KaiZi Gaming will take this series. Firefly needed a 2-0. He needed a 2-0 over Dark, and unfortunately unable to pull that off. Unable to get that 2-0, which means there is no possibility for an ace match, and DKZ will take it in the end. But we're still playing out the final game to see if Firefly can still get another point on the board for his own ELO ranking, for his own team standings as well. Dark looks like he's one of the three musketeers. Not quite. I feel like I understand where you're going with that. I feel like Geralt was one of the three musketeers. Geralt, he was like D'Artagnan, or I can't remember their names. But if you remember, back when Geralt had his mustache, when he had like the curved edges, like, oh my god, it looks so good. Everyone loved it, but it's such a shame that we lost him, Pop. We lost the mustache for like a year now. It's been a very long time since Geralt has had his facial hair. But like that was peak Geralt. That was also when he beat Cyril, if you remember. That's also when he brought down Cyril. Again, the mustache, it gave him power. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Dark though does rate highly, I think, when it comes to pro players with facial hair. We don't have too many of them. Now that I think about it, most players are clean shaven. Who else? Like Geralt, Dark, Ryung has been growing out a goatee. True, this year, specifically this year. So Ryung, Dark, Geralt. Anyone else? I guess Disc. If we go to NA, Disc, I think he has a beard, right? But here we go. We're getting into our openers, and Firefly is going for a Stargate opener back at home. Everything looking normal. Everything looking as it should. I know a lot of the older school players that have since retired, they had like, remember Targa? Like, Targa had he had a beard. Ah, it's beautiful. But what are we talking about right now? As you know, say, do shade into the main base. Oh, they are going to be shut down though. They do not quite get a drone. One adept falls. Only one does escape. One survives. Oh, as the second also gets chased down as well. Some rough losses here from Firefly. Upon losing his adepts, his third base is exposed. Uh-oh. Oh no, this is disastrous here. The Lings, they do arrive. The Oracle has to race back home as well. Wastes his energy defensively instead. Yeah, we're trying to bait out the Pulsar Beam. We do bait it. Yeah, he has to activate, and yeah, Dark, a very strong start here. Killing the Adepts, threatening the third base, keeping the Oracles back at home. The same transition 2 games in a row. That's a Forge and not a Twilight Council, a Forge and a Robo. Delayed Twilight Council, which means we're getting into +1 into Immortal production. It means that Firefly will not have map control outside of these Oracles. It's like last game in very tech heavy style. The Oracles, they get in. 3 drones, not too bad. Not too bad. I forgot about Targa. That's amazing. I will always remember Targa just because of I don't know why, but a memory burned into my skull is Home Story Cup. Home Story Cup number, I could not name it. Maybe number 8, 7 or 8. But Home Story Cup, when they had the tug of war, they had Jeff in control plus Targa against like 6 Koreans. It was like it was Jack G, it was maybe, I know Balloon was there, Jack G, Balloon, Tasia, maybe Daisy, and like 2 other Koreans. It was like 5 like skinny Koreans against Targa and In Control at Home Story Cup. That's when I think of Targa, that's what I think of. Good times, good times. But oh my god, actually behind double Stargate, triple Stargate. Oh my god. Bobby, let's go. We are going for a very weird transition here. This is not what I expected at all. Caught completely off guard. So yeah, it was +1 Robo into a War Prism, not into Immortal production, into triple Phoenix production instead. This is wild. Meanwhile, behind this, Dark is going into, I think that's Swarm Host Nidus. Acid Infestation on the way, +1 range, Nidus Worm as well. This feels like, yep, there it is. Swarm Hosts are on the way. And before Firefly can get map control, before the Phoenixes can really hit the field, I worry for him. We'll see if he can keep up with the Niduses. If not, these Swarm Hosts are going to have their way with this army. So the reason why Swarm Host play isn't really too popular anymore, Swarm Host is ideal against Charger Archon, for example. Against Blinkstalkers, less so, because Blinkstalkers, they have map control and they can keep up and shut down the Nidus Worms and the Swarm Host. Phoenixes can do something similar, but there just aren't enough of them. We're backing them up in the main base, and the Nidus is going to finish. The Locust Wave is going to come out. There we go. First Locust Wave into the natural base. Phoenixes, what can they do here? They can pick up 1 Locust at a time. At the same time, the main army pushing towards that 3rd base. Sentries are going down. The Immortals are exposed. No shield battery. No shot. Shield battery was barely out of range. 1 Immortal survives. The Locust Wave gets into the mineral line. 8 workers go down. Firefly, he's holding. But we are getting ready for another wave of Locusts. There it is, another Nidus Worm on the right-hand side. Again, Phoenixes, they can't do damage to buildings, so they actually can't do anything about the Niduses. The army has to push out. But there's another Nidus on the right-hand side, and here comes the Locust Wave. Do we go for the Nexus? Do we go for the base or the economy? We're going for the cannon instead. Cannon goes down, workers are falling as well. Oh my god, it only takes a couple of seconds. 8 workers go down. And the shield battery. 8 probes, shield battery, and the cannon. And this may end up forcing a counterattack. This may force an all-in, but Dark, he's getting ready for that. He's got Roaches, Queens on the way. He isn't maxing out on Swarm Hosts. He's only got, what, like 6 or 7 Swarm Hosts to harass? And outside of that, he's just building up his Roach Force instead. Nidus Worm is spotted. Firefly may be hoping that some of the Swarm Hosts do reveal themselves, but they don't pop out. Additional Nidus Worms on the way, all over the place actually. The Hive is done. We have 6 Vipers in production. Oh my, that's a lot of Vipers. No, the Immortals! No! Oh, that's unfortunate. They get caught out. One of them at least. The other barely escapes. And I love these Vipers out of Dark. If you're wondering, this is his answer. His answer to the Phoenixes is mass Parasitic Bomb. Phoenixes, they're very prone here to stacking. A couple of good power bombs and the Phoenixes will go down. As we're up to 20 Phoenixes, oh my god. We have a Hydrogen, Ultra Cavern, and Double Spire on the way. Dark is up to 80 workers. He's throwing down all the tech he can. Well, the Queens are getting caught out. Yeah, the Queens, there's not enough anti-air. They're going to get shut down one after the other. Big pickup here from Firefly. But here come the Vipers. The power... No, don't stack up. Oh my god. The power bombs are real. At the same time, Lings go for a big counterattack across the map, shutting down the 4th base. And what's important is that the Vipers survive. The Phoenixes also survive as well, but they have taken so much hull damage. And that's going to be a kill, not a cancel. A kill on the Nexus. All 6 Vipers did survive, and we're just getting ready for another wave of power bombs. And that second wave, that is going to shut down the Phoenixes. They're all at, like, what, half HP? Yeah, Unisloss is confirming the lack of kills on the Vipers. Fleet Beacon is on the way. We're still making more Phoenixes. Oh, the Swarm Host waddle away. Ah, the power bombs. Not like this. We dive on the Vipers. We go fungal as well. Oh my god. As we get another powerbomb towards the end as well. Phoenixes are going down. We started with 22. We are down to 13. 12 even. Down to 12. Now that was still a hefty loss for Dark. Oh, he's making ultras. Another Locust Wave coming in. Things are getting very chaotic. Firefly is pushing with a decent army. We had 6 Vipers. We lost 2. There's 4 Vipers left. Ultras are trickling in. Not ideal. Here we go. We're going to be committing. Once again, the power bombs will be connecting. Vipers will fall, but they shut down the Phoenixes. Fungal as well. Oh, the ground army, though. Firefly, can we break through? Can Firefly pull this off? With all these immortals, like the ultras, that was not the correct call. The ultras, they melted. Dark has a bank. He's amassing links to defend. Can he hold on, or can Firefly pull this off? The boys are being pulled. The ultra comes in, goes down immediately. Firefly, can he barely take the fight? He's killing all these workers. Dark still has 80? No shot. Dark had 100 drones. Oh my god. He can afford to lose workers. We have reinforcements coming in. The Immortals get shut down. Recall does not finish. Dark lost 29. Basically 30 workers. He still has 70. He still has 74. That's wild. That's crazy. That's insane. How many drones did he have? And we have 10 more. We don't even need 10 more, but we have them. Void Ray production underway here for Firefly. Dark, he went double Spire. He's got Corruptors coming out as well. Corruptors are turning back around to deal with these Phoenixes. We surround the ground army. Void Rays are not out yet. GG gets called. Firefly gets completely cleaned up, and Dark will take the 2-0. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark for taking the 2-0. That was a wild game, though. That was Swarm Host Nidus against Mass Phoenix into Ultras, which happened to be up against Immortals. That was that was a wild game. That was a wild game. GG. Congratulations to KaiZi Gaming for taking it in the end. A shout out to Firefly because, hey, he made it close towards the end as well. Again, Firefly, he's such a dark horse. He can take down so many big names, and he's done so before. He's taken down Serral, he's taken down Clem, he's taken down Solar. Not quite Dark, not this season at least, unfortunately, but entertaining games nonetheless. GG. My condolences to the Platinum Heroes and to the Starving Camels as well. They did go down here today, but some good matches nonetheless, and I hope everyone in the chat enjoyed themselves. Hope they all enjoyed themselves here as Step on me, Papi. Step. As of course, a big shout out to the sponsors, Honkai Star. Ay ay ay. No, I'm shaking my head, but maybe one day I'll try out Honkai Star. Maybe. Ay ay ay. Regardless, GG, well played. Again, hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Shout out to the sponsors, of course, of the WTL, and we're gonna be done here for tonight. We're gonna be done for tonight, just wrapping up with World Team League, and we're gonna be back tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow here with some more StarCraft action, with some more WTL, I believe. Some more World Team League action. I believe ESL Masters is right around the corner. I believe it's going to be starting in... I say around the corner. ESL Masters Europe, the playoffs, begins tonight. I say begins. It starts up again tonight in 4 hours' time. 4 hours' time is ESL Masters Europe. Tomorrow is Asia, Europe, and NA. But tonight is only Europe. Only one region tonight, as opposed to the rest. And some really good matches. We have Spirit versus Hearthstone. We have Oliveira versus Hero Marine. We have Max Pax versus Wayne. And we end the night with Cristiano versus Skillus in a PvP as well. So yeah, a lot of really good StarCraft tonight. I'm still on the fence if I want to co-stream it. We do co-stream. We've co-streamed quite a lot of the days here on the CranKy Ducklings. But it's in 4 hours, and I still have some other like catching up to do, like some work to do, like editing VODs and working on scheduling. So I'm still on the fence. We might go live. We'll see. We will co-stream tomorrow though. Tomorrow, 100%. We'll do Americas at least. Americas, papi, Americas. Yeah. Outside of that, hope everyone had a great time. But yeah, it's 4 hours. It's so long, Bobby. So long. Oh my god. I remember that was awesome. The Koreans got shreked, right? Like, it wasn't even close. Maybe I'm misremembering. The Koreans won. I remember the Koreans, they were very scared about the tug of war, and they were like, we need MC. Where's, like, MC? Like, he slept in that day, and he was, like, late or something. So MC wasn't there for the tug of war. And they won. I mean, Balloon, he's pretty strong himself, to be fair. And the Koreans did win. They did win, actually. I mean, it was like 5v2. So as strong as the foreigners were, still hard to surpass that. Yeah, we're catching up. But regardless, hope everyone had a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. I'm pretty sure I could beat all of DKZ in a tug of war solo. Mate, no shot. Do you think you can even Dark 1v1? No shot. I appreciate the confidence, Emperor Fubel, but I don't believe, Papi. I don't believe. Regardless, yeah, we're gonna be done for today. We're gonna be back tomorrow. Just let me check the calendar. We're gonna be back tomorrow with some more World Team League action. And also, we're going to be co-streaming Americas at least tomorrow as well. Again, in 4 hours' time is the Europe Regionals, so make sure you tune in. Still on the fence. Maybe we'll take a day. We'll take a night off. And maybe we're at co-stream. We'll enjoy ourselves instead. We'll just watch from the sidelines. It's all good. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, hasta luego. You can follow us on all the social medias. We have a Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have a YouTube channel, and a Discord server as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego.